I'm a very anxious person. I think something we've talked about in the
Yes,
past.
me too. Me too. I have no fingernails. It's awesome.
And so one of my mantras that I've liked to I found a lot of comfort in as I'm approaching new projects, approaching new art things is like, I'm going to make something good. How can I make it better? And this was something where actually Louisiana, so not the same trip down to call it home, but they fly me back down whatever year later to do some music videos for them. And I think it was one of my first times working with a label, working with like the whole, the industry side of shit.
Yes.
And so in that sense, it was overwhelming to me, and like flying out is stressful because I like all my gear is right here. And
anything new can be daunting, whatever it is.
Yeah. It was half that it was a new daunting in the audience sense, but also in like I'm so used to having all my toys, all my extension cords, all my surge packs, all the little stuff.
Everything that, like Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong, I'm already prepared for it.
Right. And when I'm flying, I can't bring all those things. Some degree I have to boil it down to the essentials and go, okay, instead of 10 lights, I can only have 5. How do I make these 5 work in the same way? And like there's so many problems that arose.
You adapt to the situation at hand. Yes.
And so it was just this like stressful thing. And eventually I was sitting there like looking at my notes, and I have this yellow folder that I end up writing in. And I still bring the folder to me so that when I'm looking at the new thing, I see this reminder to myself from years ago.
Yeah.
And I just remember writing like, I'm going to make something good. How can I make it better? And it's not that good is obviously so subjective. It's not that I'm going to make something great. It's not that I'm going to make the best thing ever. But I, in that moment, had the confidence of like, if this is going bad, I know that I will notice it in camera. I will correct, I will adjust, and I will end up with something that I am proud of to some capacity. Yes. And then it took a lot of stress off of me in that moment. And so instead of like, oh, I'm going to fuck this up, it's like, no. There's a music video that's going to happen tomorrow. And my only job here is to figure out how to take that from an A to an A+, or a B to a B+, or whatever that increment is. And there was a tremendous comfort to me, and it still is a comfort to me as I approach new creative challenges of like, I'm not going to fuck it up. And if I am fucking it up, I'll notice it and I'll adjust and course correct, and I'll end up somewhere good. My job is to make it better. I assume it's a similar stress for you. Is there a mantra in your head that comes on stage? How do you like fight off that voice in your head telling you that you don't know how to write the song, or that this bass line sucks, or whatever those common thoughts are?
Because we're all our own worst critics.
We are.
I think we've definitely talked about this before, whether it be like off the podcast or on it. It's funny because how you felt, I almost feel that whatever band you work for that you're shooting and you're feeling those feelings, they're feeling those same fucking feelings. And they're 100%. Like, I hope this fucking guy doesn't know how nervous I am. This videographer probably sees I'm fucking nervous, or whatever it might be, or thinking about something. It's the same thing, whether it be like the writing process, it's like, or contributing to a song that's being written. It's like, okay, I'm in on this now. Like that was kind of last night at low practice. Like, okay, I'm listening to like some of the newer shit we've been working on and they've been writing on. And I'm like, okay, how can I contribute as a bass player? But also like me as a bass player, I'm like, okay, I can really lock in with the guitars and really hit that left hand aspect, or I can really just bare bones it and fucking lock in with drums, which again, you notice that shit with bands like Kublai Khan, caveman it. I swear to God.
Santa just called.
Fucking caveman it. At the end of the day, 4 on the floor, closed hi-hat, very sick. Everyone loves Kublai Khan.
Yep.
But I think that same way, even before Kublai Khan came around, I always thought that way as a bass player. Like, okay, I'm going to have my moments where I pop out and like have my little, here, check this out. Yeah. But then I'm like, all right, I'll still have like a stage presence, but I'm just like, I'm locked in. I'm locked into, dude, I don't care if it's 1 fucking note, 4 notes, fucking 400 notes. Yep. When it's like that part where I just want to back up, hit 4 notes along with the drummer while the fucking 2 guitar players or guitar players doing something crazier, it helps the song. Yep. It's like, and that's with whatever musician in the band, it's like, how can I contribute to the song? If I do this part, and I'll trial and error things on my own, I'm like, let's play that, and when we'll usually do 2 playthroughs of a set, as an example, maybe 1. But there are certain times where I'm like, let's run that back, because I want to, like, play one thing one way, like whether it's be with fingers, this play with a pick, do I play it really notey, do I play it really simple? And it comes down to, it's like, okay, I need to stop overthinking. I need to stop. It's almost like when you were back in middle school worrying about what to wear.
That's a great analogy. That is such a good analogy.
But you didn't fucking realize in the time that everyone else you're about to see is worried about what they're wearing and not giving a fuck what you wear.
That is the best analogy. Yep.
That's it. Yep. That's what it's like. So stop stressing the little things when you could be focusing on the grand scheme of things, the great outcome, the video, the fucking photo shoot, the show.
Yep.
And I've learned that over the last, I'd say, I've more implemented that in the last like year or two, more 2 years, where it's just like I'm not stressing things. And we were talking about this before we popped on. Like I'm not stressing about things I do not need to stress about. Is this situation, whatever the fuck it could be, could literally be anything, super good, super bad. Do I need to stress about this? Is this going to matter in 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years? Prioritize where that stress level's at, especially as we get older. Like, we still have those moments like, oh, 2017 is like 3 years ago. It's like, no, bro, we're about to be in 2024. I'm 29. I'll be 30 in November 2024. I've kind of realized in the last 2 years where I'm like, shit, I'm not stressing about this. I don't care what this person has to say unless it's, affecting my work or like benefiting me and what I'm doing.
Yep.
It's like, listen, you can think that, but I have things to worry about.
Yep.
Whether it be life, bills, family, friends. There's bigger things to worry about than what this is. And I try my hardest. I'm always a fucking hypocrite because it's like, I'll be, I have those moments where it's like, I'll comfort like people or like say, whether it be my girlfriend or family or friends, where it's like, oh, I'll give the best fucking advice, but Jesus, why do I never put it towards myself? And I've been better in the last 2 years or so of like, okay, maybe I should take my own advice because it's actually been pretty valid for people I've given it to. So like maybe I should not stress about these little things. Whether it be like, hey man, just got a text from the tour manager. You need to go get this fucking hummus at Stop and Shop. It's like, all right, cool. I'm not stressing about it. They don't need it now. You're telling me hummus is the make or break of this show?
And if they do need it now, sucks. I should have asked sooner because I can't do any more than I'm going to do.
There's a big outdoor festival. There's a ton of outdoor shit at the Palladium Outdoors. It's a huge access area for thousands of people.
Yeah.
And there was one artist that was like, can you go get us, it's ironic, but the Justin chocolate, they make peanut butter. Can you go get us the peanut butter? I'm like, yeah. So I go get it. I bring it back. I wait 5 minutes. The fucking tour manager texts me. Yeah, they wanted the peanut butter with the almond butter. I'm like, well, why was this not specified? You know what? And in that moment, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm not going to get it. And I was like, who's around that could go get? And I did like this delegation thing in my head. I'm like, yo, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good for like 3 hours. I'm like, yo, I'll give you $5 if you do something for me right now. I shit you not. And I was like, I'm not saying who, I'm not saying what they were doing, but they were free and didn't have shit to do. And I sent them to Stop and Shop to go get some fucking almond. Because I was just like, it's a favor from me. And it's something I don't want to worry about anymore. I've decided. I've made the decision. I don't want to deal with it. It's like you're at a party or a social gathering. It's like, I'm an adult. I don't have to fucking be here right now. Later, guys. Like, you can do the Irish goodbye or say, hey, I'm heading out. Like, if you're at a party or a gathering, it's like, yeah, you're there to make the appearance and see people, but you don't got to be there for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It's like, hey, I got other things to do. It was great seeing all of you and getting pure anxiety. I'm going to leave.